When I walk through the locker room, I'm walking around with no particular thing in mind. It's like when you're shooting a war zone or where you're shooting backstage. You're walking completely open as a sponge to absorb what may be there. And then, it's reacting and honing in on it. Well, the first time I really started shooting in the locker room in earnest was in 1979. Bill Walsh had just come in, and he and I had a lengthy discussion on the importance of documenting everything that went on with the team, both on the field, obviously, but in the locker room, because that's where a lot of it starts and really ends. And I wanted to shoot it as a documentarian in much the same way I shot rock and roll, more as a photojournalist, and let things just unfold. I wanted people to see and feel the game from a player's point of view. I've never really approached it as a photographer. If I'm shooting football, I morph into a football player. So when I go in, I take off my street clothes and I put on my football gear. I even started taping up. First couple times people laughed, it's like, what are you doing, dude? And then you're invisible. The fact that I used to play, I know what it feels like before the game. The nerves, the tension, the feeling you have when you're going down the tunnel. Everybody has their own way of really preparing for a game, but they're all going through this sort of cathartic cleansing before they go out on the field, basically to do battle. Because in the end, if these guys are nothing else, they're modern gladiators. Some people, they've got their feet moving and they're just kind of looking around. Other people might have a towel over their head and they're in quiet contemplation and really intense. Some guys, they've got their iPod on, they're listening to their sounds, they're lost in their little world. You might have a couple guys going over a playbook and asking somebody, well, what do I do here?
60 minutes. Everybody in this room for 60 minutes. Stay in the game, have fun, baby, let's go.
We wrote our first chapter and it wasn't good. Gotta come out and be Shakespeare today, baby.
I really noticed toward the middle of last season, you could feel a change starting to happen. And you can point to the coaching staff. It's Mike Nolan and all of his assistants.
You know what I'm going to say after this game? All right? I'm going to say we learned how to win today. We learned how to win. It's 10-3. Let's learn how to win. Let's go, baby. Let's go! Let's go! Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win!
It was satisfaction, joy.
Yeah, baby!
My feeling, too, was this was the beginning of something. I think this is a team you're going to hear from.
What'd I say? We learned how to win today, didn't we? Learned how to win today. Good start. Let's get started. Guys, there were some